I'm Leslie. Once upon a time, my ex-partner said, let's open a music store, and I said, that is a terrible, terrible idea. I no experience in any of that. And yet, here we are, because I couldn't let it fail. I have a degree, as she said, in chemistry, math, and physics, and I decided to take this on as a challenge, because I could decide to understand how to understand musicians and what to explain different components of music to them. So I learned all the pieces that I needed to learn and was able to explain why a large bore trombone was better than a small bore and why they needed the side seam on their trumpet as opposed to their student model trumpet, and was able to figure out all the things. Part of my thing was to break down the barriers between humans and music, because there's a lot of toxicity of you needing to know what you know before starting music. And so I try to talk to the beginners and encourage them to make the bad sounds, encourage them to try. We do all of these petting zoos every year. We do the Tucson Festival of Books, we do school music programs where we talk to them about how to make different sounds, and it's really about breaking down barriers to music to make more music makers. And it's so critical in this world and this time to make those music makers.
Then I got too hot.
So
I don't want to take my sweater off.
Ex-husband said, let's open a music store, and I said, that's a terrible idea. Did it anyways, and I said, all right, well, we're not going to make it fail. Definitely going to make it succeed. And so I jumped in, and I was selling lasers at the time. Actually, the day the music store opened, I was in Japan selling lasers, high-power diode lasers, aluminum gallium arsenide lasers to a couple companies that were doing hair removal as well as eye surgery. And so I missed the opening of the store, but it was a kind of a non-plus because nobody came in. A couple people. I think we were related to them. 26 years later, we're an institution in this country. We're an institution in Tucson. We're one of the largest music stores in America. We've won top 100 dealer for the last, 15 years or something. The last couple of years, we've gotten best in show for some of our things. So in terms of breaking down the barriers, we have this little booklet we have in the back. It's for free. You can try it. You can take a look at it. We pass these out for free to music educators so that they can understand, they can give it to the kids as they try different instruments, so that they can take this home to their parents and communicate to the parents why they need to play oboe or viola or bassoon. This is a booklet that shows them very clearly the fun things about it. And this type of resource isn't available commercially, so to have it available to them is such a resource. And the object of it is to make more music makers. I'm a non-musician. There's a fair amount of toxicity in becoming a musician. You have to be good, you have to shred, you have to, if you're a girl, you can play drums. There's all these rules that exist in music that really shouldn't exist. And I just didn't want to participate in that. And so when given the opportunity to break down those rules, we tried to. And we try to break down those barriers between. So kids come in with their parents, rental season, and back to school season. Kids come in with their parents, and parents are scared, they're gonna pay too much, and kids are scared because they don't know how to shred. And it's our job to calm them down and say, it's okay to make bad sounds. It's okay to just try it. Do your face like this. Make a face like a rabbit, and now you can play clarinet. silly things like that to make it more accessible. And so, as a room full of musicians and musicians who are fans of musicians, take the opportunity to introduce a kid in a non-threatening way how to play music. That's everybody's ultimate goal, is to get someone started. Where they take it, it's up to them. That's not my job, is to, take them wherever they're going to go with it. But in the 26 years I've existed as a music store, man, we've taken a lot of people, a lot of places, and that just fills my heart. Because, what else is there in this world than to help people along on their journey and to show them what is impossible for them? Because maybe they don't know what's possible for them. And maybe you could show them, hey, you could just do your face like this and blow into this thing, and now you're playing trumpet. There was a thing on NPR about Louis Armstrong. He walked up to a school demo and picked up a trumpet, and it was his instrument. We do the Tucson Festival of Books every year, and we reach musicians that don't even know they're musicians. Thousands and thousands of people over the last 6 years that try out our demo station. We do petting zoos out in the wild. We show people how to make the sounds so that they can make the sounds and go, oh, I can play clarinet, or I can play tuba. Because it's just that simple. So I'm going to invite you, if you're a musician, show somebody something. Show them how to play music. Get them excited about it. Because that's the future of the world, the one-on-one communication. Music is such a language on its own. Recently, I went down to Ecuador. In July, I went to Ecuador, brought some native flutes and some violin supplies. Recently, another group went down there, and I supplied them with 6 violins and a bunch of other flutes, because it's the universal language. You don't have to be able to speak Ashwar in the native jungles of Brazil or Ecuador, but everyone plays music, and everyone knows what a humming is, and everyone knows how to make a vibration on an instrument. So, it's a language. It helps with your math, your organization, your rhythm, your timing, all of those things. It helps you with your being a better person. It helps you with your community. You can, the band kids that maybe don't fit in, who's not on the spectrum? I don't know anybody who's not on the spectrum, to be real. Everybody is. And to be able to find community in the band room and be able to sit with the band director and have them help you and talk to you as a real person because they understand you, or the other kids that are in the band. So middle school, elementary school band is a great resource for people. Right now I have about 30 employees, some of which are extroverts, some of which are introverts, some of which are birds. And so we all just do our thing. And some people, there's musicians who don't want to be on stage with a guitar. Good job, Sonora, because they do. But there's a lot that don't, that are also musicians, that love the gear. They want to fix the gear because you pick up the guitar or the violin and it tells you a story that's beyond the player. It's nothing to do with the player. You pick up a saxophone, you're like, oh man, you've had a hard life. Let's fix you up. So understanding that there's so many careers in music that have nothing to do with being on stage with a guitar. It has everything to be with helping the person, or helping the choir kid, or talking to the baritone player who doesn't have the right mouthpiece, or, hey, my valve is sticking, so now I can't play. So being a conduit for that, being a music store that supports all of those pieces. So I haven't even talked about my store. I own Instrumental Music Center at Speedway and Cole here in Tucson. It's kind of not even about the, yeah, thank you. It's not even about the store. This is not about money at all. This is about the energy of helping musicians be their best selves and breaking down the barriers between music and people, because that's really what really matters at the end of the day. Whether we're fixing their instrument, giving them lessons, doing a rental so they can just try it and see if the kid wants to play, you know, we make things easy so that they can try it and get into the system. New Horizons Band is a 50 and older band here in Tucson. They've been existing for like 6 years or so. Amazing, amazing group. This is how people 50 and older do their days. My Uncle Gene couldn't come tonight because he had New Horizons Band tonight. He plays bass clarinet. He's super good at bass clarinet. You know, he told me that bass clarinet saved his life. How noble of a cause is that? So, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, musicians. Thank you. Oh my gosh, that. Thank you. Thank you to my staff. I've had about 300 people work for me over the years. You know, some temporary, some long-term, some forever, some just for a little space. Each one of them have a component to add to musicians. And then we have all of Tucson. Tucson's such a great town. I freaking love this town. And thank you to the Tucson Musicians Museum for recognizing that not all musicians have a guitar and do lead, because there's a lot of us that play oboe in quiet, or sing by themselves, or maybe don't play out loud because that allows other people to play louder than us.